Hello, everyone, and welcome to Indianapolis, here for the Wild Cardz 150. My name is Noah Walter, and you're joining me live here at Indianapolis. Man, I am excited for this race. We are here at this 2.5 mile super speedway, technically. Honestly, we are in for a fantastic race at this historic racetrack. It's the big old rectangle, the Brickyard, where these guys are going to be hunting to kiss the bricks here and climb the fence at Indianapolis. This has been a very competitive practice time, and just about everything else we've seen so far. It has been incredibly close, and I cannot wait to see where it is going to be going, as it will not be long until we start shortly. So with that, let's go ahead and head on in, and we can talk a little bit about what we can expect at this race. Like I said, this is going to be the Wild Cardz 150 here at the Brickyard. Got to give a huge thank you over to our friends over at Wild Cardz, a semi-professional paintball team out in Canada. So thank you once again to that team, Wild Cardz, so that we can have our 150. So once again, thank you. All right, here we are at Indianapolis. I believe it was last paved within the last 10 years, so that's good. So we're going to have a decent racing surface. But with that, though, we have a nice field ahead of us of 19 cars, just shy of 20. Good field out tonight, and we are still in the playoffs. That's right, playoff season still here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, where these guys are going to be hunting to see who gets eliminated after we had our race last week. One and second place by, well, first place was won by non-playoff driver Brady Floyd, and second place goes to another non-playoff driver, Stephen Black. So we're in for one interesting season at that, with Patrick Coluccio, who was able to finish on the podium. He is in the playoffs. Jeffrey Belk after him in fourth. So that is the quick rundown of last week. That was the throwback race at Atlanta. Turned out to be a great one. If you want to watch the replay of that, you can do so here on twitch.tv/4cloak. With that, though, let's go and run through our gridding order and see where these guys are going to be starting here before we begin our race. Starting on pole position is going to be the number 55 playoff driver of Jeffrey Belk. Remember, like I said, he came in fourth last week at Atlanta with Brian Fradian going to be alongside. That's going to be an EG lockout for the front row. In the second row on the inside lane, it is going to be the 98 of Stephen Black with Kyle Mundell in the number 34 on the outside. We can think a little bit back to iRacing Super Speedway, where it was the 34 of Kyle Mundell finishing second by .001 or .002, one or the other, to that number 20 of Brady Floyd, who will be starting in fifth position. However, if I'm not mistaken, he will be receiving an EOL at the start of this race due to his back-to-back wins. On his outside, though, it is going to be the number 39 of Brandon Fiedler in his Gwen Stacy Spider-Man number 39. Spider-Woman? Doesn't matter. Number 39, Schroeder Plumbing, Toyota Camry. Behind them, in row number 4 on the inside, it is going to be the 07 of West Gala. Weeg Enterprises bringing up that car here tonight. And then our title car here for tonight, the number 22 of Greg Snowgrove, Wild Cardz. Chevrolet Camaro going to be representing our great sponsor for this race. Inside lane of row number 5, it's going to be the 18 Sports Fanatics Chevrolet Camaro of Patrick Coluccio with the number 86 Checkered Leopard LLC Camaro of Michael Jennings alongside. Row number 6, it is going to be Matt Stewart finally driving for himself there in the number 14 with Richard Drake going to be alongside. I do believe that the 14 is a mistake and it should be the 7. And I imagine that will be corrected shortly. Richard Drake is going to be the inside... Oh, let's see. What are we missing there? Oh, there we go. Richard Drake going to be on the outside there for row number 6. Row number 7 is going to be headed up by Paul Ems there on the inside in the number 28 with Cody Snyder in 14th. Finally, in row number 8, we're going to have on the inside Rob Carl. Hopefully, he's going to be trying to turn around his luck these last couple of races with Matt Malavagna in the 3 alongside. Bring up the last little bit of your grid here. It is going to be Tyler Hallahan running in 17th in the 88, and then your failures to qualify, whether that be for iRacing sensitivity or what have you, is going to be Mark Lapierre and Michael Sparks bringing up the last 2 positions. Like I said, quite a field we have here tonight. 19 cars. 150 miles here at the Brickyard Historic Raceway. Low banking, very interesting track to drive. You're going to have to brake for these turns, too. That makes it that much more interesting. As we approach now through the historic front stretch, the iRacing.com pace car is going to pull off any last second there. There it goes. And Jeffrey Belk with his teammate Brian Fradien are going to lead the field to the green flag. There we go, and it's green flag here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Jeffrey Belk going to be heading it off. All right, as we head down your front straight here, that has been your first lap here at Indianapolis. Jeffrey Belk is going to be leading the lap. Stephen Black, though, in the number 98, is going to be chasing Jeffrey Belk right there in second. He was able to get around Brian Fradien to get to the front, but Brandon Fiedler is right there in fourth position, trying to chase down his teammate Stephen to get up in that second place. But right now, it looks like Jeffrey Belk has this as he's beginning to really start to extend that lead as much as possible, but that draft down that backstretch is going to be really helping Steven, especially because he has Brian Fradien right behind him. He's going to be able to keep that draft rolling. A kind of super speedway this race is, and I say that because it is not completely pedal to the metal like all super speedways that we think usually are. Oh, into the wall there for that would be Brandon Fiedler in the number 39. Gwen Stacy's Spider-Man Schroeder Plumbing Toyota Camry. Right side damage there on the car. He's going to start falling back. Hopefully his car is under control. It looks to be so. He has just too much speed off of that one. Quite ahead. So he just overdrove turn number 4. That's the other good part about here in Indianapolis is that the turn numbers that we use for oval racing, that is 1 through 4, actually makes a bit more sense here. Figuring as you actually do have 4 turns and not just 2, kind of 3. As Jeffrey Belk continues to lead here, going into lap number 4 off of the exit of turn number 4 now. Stephen Black hopes to try to continue to chase, but he is losing time to Belk ahead. Don't imagine that Brian Fradien will be helping Stephen out very much. Here's something that we need to keep our eye on. It's playoff driver, the number 34, Kyle Mundell. He has been on the hunt for a win for now 2 seasons. He got dangerously close in 2 races ago at iRacing Super Speedway. He is hungry for that win. He wants it bad. Just keep an eye on him, as this is another good chance for him to get it as he goes to the inside there of Stephen Black, hoping to chase up, as it looks like Stephen is beginning to lose some time. Westgallo coming in, give it a big bump there to the 34. Westgallo running on that outside. That's the first time we're seeing that 07 with the Weeg Enterprises paint. Weeg Designs, a good friend of Four Cloak Media here, so got to give a big appreciation for all that they do. The Richard Drake there starting to dice his way through the field, currently running in 6th position. Starting to go up, trying to chase through the field. As Jeffrey Belk now extends his lead to over half a second. He is continuing to dominate this race so far. Now, our expected fuel runs are about 22 to 24 laps, so keep an eye out for that up in the top left-hand corner for our overlay provided by Pierce Graphics. Keep an eye on that, as that will be the important thing to watch. Stephen Black there on the inside of Brian Fradien. He dives down, trying to take it away. Now, one of the biggest things that I heard before going into this race here tonight is how to drive at this track. It has changed over the last several updates here on iRacing with the tire model and just track updates in general. One of those biggest being you cannot just hold the throttle down anymore. You actually have to use your brakes. And one of the biggest things that helps with that is if you use your brakes to turn in, and not your wheel as much, you're going to be saving your tires, allowing for a lot longer runs. Is what I think these guys want, especially now as we start seeing Steven beginning to close that gap to Belk up ahead. We can see that continuing to toggle back and forth, whether or not it's going to be a viable possibility. As soon as I say that, though, he begins closing in real hard there. You can see the relative on your left-hand side. Much closer to that 55 machine there. Still, this is going to be a tight race, especially between your top four up here. Kyle Muddell really beginning to chase down the rest of the crew up there. But Richard Drake able to dice through the field up to now 5th position in the kinetic number 41. We saw a little bit of right side damage already, which will be very common at this racetrack. I mean, it's just so easy to skim that wall. But it looks a little bit like left side damage there for the 07 of Wes Gallo there. Ooh, a little bit of right side damage too. Not sure what happened to him. Ooh, a bit of a slide there out of Paul Ems, that number 28 Valvoline Chevrolet. Almost begins to lose it. Here's the person we need to keep an eye on here tonight. It's the Wild Cardz number 22, driven by Greg Snellgrove, currently getting a push by his former teammate, Patrick Coluccio. They're in the 18. Sports Fanatics Podcast recently brought us a race, say recently, but a while ago now. But they were able to put on a great event for us. We've got to give a huge thank you to Sports Fanatics Podcast, but we have to give our hugest thank you tonight to Wild Cardz, of course, for giving us our great races. Paul M skims the wall just a hair there once again. It looks like Greg has been trying to get up through the field. However, he does appear to be struggling just a little bit. Probably caught up in this pack. The person that had to start a lot further down than I know they wanted, it's the 20 of Brady Floyd, your back-to-back race winner of 2 weeks now. He's going to have to hunt down to get to the front as much as possible. He said before it was a very lucky win for him last week at Atlanta. His strategy that he accidentally pulled off perfectly and got him fresh tires right at the end of the race, allowing him to soar to an easy victory. But that is a tough race to run, especially when he was having the night that he was 2 weeks ago now. But he's back, and we're going to see what he's going to be able to do here at Indianapolis. Rob Carl there going to be on the inside, that 2. Rob has been all over the standings so far this season. I mean, he already has 2 wins, but it's been a bit all over. Whoa, bit of a skim. Oh, it's Patrick Coluccio into the wall. Brady Floyd involved as well. As Coluccio begins to fall, the caution comes out. We're going to have to take a review of that one and see just what happened here at Indianapolis. What a wreck. Hopefully these guys aren't too damaged. Several cars involved for sure. 18 of Coluccio heavily damaged after that one. We're going to come back and see just what happened. All right, we have your incident here. Let's go and take a closer look and see just what happened as we go back in. Looks like the 07 of Wes Gallo dives down to the bottom again. A little bit of a squeeze there from the 20 of Brady Floyd. Gets off the front fender of the 20. Sends him up into the 18. Looks like Patrick locks it up hard, trying to avoid what happened there. Slams into the wall. Looks like Rob Carl is able to dodge that one just barely. That's going to be some heavy damage for Patrick Coluccio, but it looks like he is going to be able to continue driving that vehicle and bring it back to the pits. That's good. I mean, that is a lucky one, especially when you hit your front end that hard on a part of the track like that. That is a lucky, lucky incident. So hopefully he can continue going forward. Ben, welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. Just missed the race. Yeah, it did just recently start, but that's all right. You can go ahead and join us here and perhaps cheer on Brady. I think you could use the emotional encouragement. As we hop up to your leaders, though, it's been Jeffrey Belk able to lead every lap so far, now under yellow. We keep an eye for our race control, what the determination will be, as a lot of these guys are going to be rolling down pit road. You can see it. Michael Jennings looks like he is going to be... Oh, he changed his mind. He's heading in. So this is a very important strategy call to make right now, and that's why everybody is headed in. This is the pivotal moment for fuel. As I said before, the estimated runtime length for a car right now, 65% fuel, is about 20 to 24-ish laps. So all these guys are going to have to go in if they want to make it to the end, if there is no more yellows. That is the thing that they are banking on now. And now it becomes a question, take tires, yes or no? And it looks like a lot of these guys are going to be taking tires, and it's going to be Michael Jennings. Looks like he's going to just roll through the pits, allowing him to take away the lead. See just about everybody there coming off of pit road. Stephen Black was able to get off ahead. Huge shakeup for your entire field. One of our cars to watch tonight here, the number 22, Greg Snellgrove, now up to 7th position. Yes, Ben, hopefully get to see you at Talladega. That would be good. Looks like Brady Floyd, after that damage, is currently up into 8th position. But we're going to see how that does get affected. It looks like he still does have damage. No fast repair for the 20 car. Marc LaPierre sitting in the pits for a little bit longer than I would expect. I think he might be repairing some damage. He gets to leave now. Well, it's going to be the 86, and Michael Jennings going to be leading this race off of the next start. Looks like he has a bit of an issue with trading paint stairs. I made sure I checked all my stuff. That is the Checkered Leopard LLC, number 86 Chevrolet Camaro. Yep. Missed his pit stall, it appears, so he's going to be rolling down the pits. And it's going to be Stephen Black, though, going to be leading us off ahead of Jeffrey Belk. Now, this presents a new challenge for Jeff, as he now has to get around Stephen, which is going to be a very difficult task. We know Indianapolis is already infamous for being a bit hard to pass, so now even more so with an aggressive driver like Steven going to be trying to hold on to that lead for as long as possible. It's going to make Jeff's life that much more difficult. He's got his teammate, though, Brian Fradienne, right there behind him. Hopefully he can make something happen with him. But Kyle Mundell, also looking for his first win, is going to be there as the upset value, let alone the drivers behind, ready to make it interesting. Got to give a huge thank you once again to Wildcards for sponsoring this week's race. They're a semi-professional paintball team, but also got to give a huge thank you, of course, to our sponsor of not just the series, but also our playoffs, Schroeder Plumbing. They've been in business for over 50 years in southeast Wisconsin. I mean, I think that says more than anything the quality of their work if they're able to stay in business for that long. But they specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services, but they'll also work with several local builders or with individuals hoping to build their dream home or do their own remodeling. Schroeder Plumbing. Well, as we roll through turn 3 here, as we go through the short chute before turn number 4, it's going to be the Iverson.com pace car going to be pulling off this time by. For our uninitiated, you can always tell by the lights on the pace car being off. As we head off of 4 now into the historic front stretch. Once again, we'll go over the yard of bricks very shortly now as the pace car pulls off as we approach the start line. Green flag. There's the yard of bricks there, that line in the concrete pavement. With that, though, it looks like Jeff was able to get a good start there on that outside. Can he come down fast enough of Stephen Black to continue holding on to the position? Stephen stuck on the bottom, not being let up there by Kyle Mundell as we continue 2-wide racing off of turn number 2. It's Kyle Mundell up to second position. Jeffrey Belk maintains the lead. Stephen Black pushed down into third. How long will that remain, though, and how hard is he going to push to get back up towards the front? Greg Snellgrove, like I said, we needed to keep an eye on him, and here he is currently running in 5th position, battling for 4th right now. But actually, no, he's going to be battling for 3rd on the outside of Stephen Black, who I do not believe took tires very close to the wall. the number 22, but not just him. That was also the 81, the 28, just about everyone behind him. Yeah, that definitely looks like no tires taken there for that 98 car. Now, as we see Brian Fradien diving down to the bottom as everybody begins to shoot along the inside to get around Steven. Lap number 30 is when our caution for the competition will fly. So we're about halfway there. They can make it to the end without another pit stop. However, it will be close. So some especially reckless driving might change that. All right, as we see Mundell trailing the 55 now, he is not letting him out of his sights. It will be a close one, and the question will have to become, will it be another second-place finish for Kyle Mundell? As that will be a bit another heartbreak for him. So we'll keep a tab on him now as Greg Snellgrove leads up third position, getting a hair of a push there from Brian Fradien, who now dives down to the bottom. The 81 looking for third. Can he take it will be the question. Does not quite get it there off of turn number 1. How about turn number 2? Looks to the bottom, doesn't have the run. For now, Brian Fradien has to sit behind that 22, hoping to get alongside. He's got Paul Ems behind him, though. Another driver looking for their first win this season, however, was able to win last season. So we're definitely have to keep a big eye on that one. Hear those screeching tires as we roar through the turns there. Heavy on the brakes you have to be in turns 3 and 1. That short chute is a fairly okay spot to be in when it comes to the throttle, but turn 1 and 3 are just terrifying on the tires. Another driver looking for the first win this season was not able to score one last is the 88 Tyler Hallahan. He has been up in the front several times we've seen so far this season, but just has not had a race when he's been able to string it all together. He wants to get there in that BTT, number 88. Keep an eye on him as we continue to roll forward as Richard Drake begins to once again cut throughout the field, but does not have it this time as Rob Carl pulls alongside to get the position for 7th. This race has definitely turned into a lot more chaos than I was certainly expecting, and that is fantastic to see. We'd love to see some great racing going on, and here at Indianapolis, they've certainly been able to provide. Matt Malavagna just overtook Brady Floyd for 13th position. Pierce Brady was also one that did not take tires, as Stephen Black is also about to fall victim to that number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet. Heading back up to our leaders now, we see Kyle Mundell looking to the inside of the number 55. Jeffrey Belk goes for a block there, Jeffrey does. Does not want to let him through quite yet. And the biggest difference we're seeing right now between that we got to see our last run, and that is Kyle Mundell is he's absolutely putting it to the leader of Jeffrey Belk here as he goes down to the inside. He's going to have the inside line this time, skimming the wall there for the 55. Here we go through 3 now through the short chute. Belk still holds on to it. Looks like he has the Indianapolis touch that he needs to drink the milk here at the end of this race. Ooh, block there for Brian Fradien. Not going to let Paul Ems through, as Greg Snellgrove is going to have to reside a 5th for now. Paul hungry to get to the front as well. Hopefully secure himself a podium, if not a win. Stage points are going to be very important for these guys as we continue here throughout the playoffs. Goes to the inside there for the 28. Paul Ems, can he get around Brian Fradien? He's got it for now. Can he block, though, in time? Caution flies. Lap number 18. Be right back and see what brought out our yellow. We'll be right back. All right, we have your incident here. Let's go ahead and see what happened here at Indianapolis. Looks like turn 1 will be our hotbed of incidents here tonight. Following with the number 41, Richard Drake. I think he just gets caught out there by everybody braking a bit earlier than he expects. Hits just a little bit too hard. Lightly taps the 39. He begins to spin out. Can't control it. Almost catches up Matt Stewart in that one, then just slams himself into the wall at high speed. I imagine that would maybe not maintain a yellow, but I think... Uh-oh. See here, Matt Malavagna. Stephen Black slams on the brakes. Yup, that is going to be a strong rear end there. Oh, and Brady Floyd involved too. All these guys are going to be a bit upset over that one, I am sure. Just after that, the recovery was all right, but that is a lot of car incidents there, and to have a slow car on track as everybody goes up to the high side to maintain their safety. Well, still a very interesting position these guys got put in. It looks like that's going to be a fast repair for the number 41. I imagine that's some heavy damage he did take. But Jeffrey Belk once again maintains the lead through the yellow. Kyle Mundell, though, on fire, currently chasing him down. Well, with the current track record we have for playoffs and how that has been affecting our drivers, I think it is a safe bet if we try to find somebody that isn't too involved in our playoff battle and everything that gets too upset, because it has been a very interesting last couple of playoff races with the effects, and pre-off races too. So if there's somebody you want me to bring up in the chat, please go ahead and mention it up, and I'll make sure to drag them. Otherwise, we're going to have to keep a close eye on who we drag for now. Actually, you know what? Let's go and bring up Patrick Coluccio, as he was able to finish in third last race. Patrick's no up in the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, Noah.
Having a bit of an interesting night tonight, aren't you?
Just a little bit. I don't know what happened with Wes and I there. I think it was just two of us going for real estate. He might have dissented in a little much. I might have came down a little bit more. I'll have to go back and watch it. But yeah, you know, I'm just up here trying to race with Rob and them. I got people I got to beat up here, so I'm just trying to stay with them as much as I can.
I'm especially certain of that, especially after your performance last race where you got to be on the podium position.
Oh, man. Let me tell you about something I haven't lived down yet. I'm still on that high, so I'm hoping for at least another top 5 here today. But this track's tough to pass. If you're going to pass, you need to either have a push or you're going to have to send it. So we'll see.
Absolutely. What's going to be your strategy going forward?
Patience. Really, patience, and try and conserve tire as much as possible. Really just hoping to do all that. Hopefully get Tyler and Craig up here so we can have some good racing next week, in 2 weeks at Dega for the final round of 8, round of 10 race or whatever. So we'll see, but push Rob there for a bit. We got back up to Tyler. We were trying to catch Greg and them. We were working on it. Then the caution came out, so we'll see.
All right. Well, thank you much for your time, Patrick. I do appreciate it. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
I got to thank all the guys at ADM, Central Sign and Lighting, Dirtco, Toro Media, Sports Fanatics, Matt for pushing me right now, Greg, Tyler, Paul, Kyle, Matt, everyone involved with the league, really. It's been helpful, so yeah.
All right. Thank you once again, Patrick, and good luck.
Thank you.
Number 18, Patrick Coluccio in the Sports Fanatics podcast, Chevrolet. Currently running in 8th position. Hunting for a top 5, he says. We have to keep an eye on that one and see how he does after his performance last race especially. Heading up towards the front, though, Jeffrey Bill going to be starting off from the lead once again. Kyle Mundell alongside. These two have had a great battle so far here tonight. Let's see how much that can continue going forward. Paul M's hoping to shake it up a little bit as well, currently running in 4th with Brian Fradian alongside in 3rd. To win Indianapolis is almost equivalent to that of a Daytona level win, where it is just a very big moment to have. It's a big track. It's very historic. Many great moments we've seen here, not just in NASCAR, but IndyCar and tons of other series as well. So being able to finish on the top step would be a lot to these guys, even if it is in the sim world. But with that, though, the iRacing.com pace car pulls off to go down pit road as we head through your front stretch to take the green flag very shortly. There it is, green flag. Kyle Mundell off to a great start that time. He got a better launch there on the outside. Can he get ahead of the 55, though? That will be the question. These two on very similar strategies and tires have been battling nonstop. Indianapolis will be the place, and the caution is out once again. And Kyle Mundell is going to be in the lead when it flies. Not entirely sure what happened there. So we'll be right back and see just what happened. All right, we got your incident here. Thank you very much for the follow. All right, let's go and see just what happened here at Indianapolis. We join in. We are following along currently with Stephen Black, Wes Gallo, and Brady Floyd. It seems like these guys are awfully involved with a lot here tonight. Looks like Brady did not accelerate as hard as Stephen was anticipating, but very much so there on Wes Gallo, who gets into the back of him. Wes looks down to the inside. Happens here. And Stephen just dies? Takes out Richard Drake with him. That might be an end to Richard Drake's race here tonight. Oh, net codes Michael Sparks as well. Unfortunate. Michael Sparks, after just recently repairing his wheel after his puppy chewed it up. Gonna be disappointed after that one, but that is a very interesting one. We're gonna have to take a look at the inside view on that, because that was very strange to see. Do not often see someone just suddenly, yeah, weird. Not sure what iRacing caused that for. I was told that some network issues were happening right now with a lot of people just randomly disconnecting out of nowhere, and I think that might be a great example of that, because he just suddenly turned right. Either that or it was a lot of wheel spin that we did not see. So, weird. Alright, that was our incident here at Indianapolis. We're going to rejoin back in and see where everybody is at as we see Steven rolling down pit lane to get some damage repair. Kyle Mundell is going to be heading off in the lead, though. So let's go and bring up... who's someone we haven't brought up in a while? You know what? We have not brought up Brian Fradian for quite a while, so let's give him a quick chat. Brian, still with the booth. Do you read me?
I do. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You're currently running in 4th place. How does it feel to be up here?
Feels good. I'd like to be at least 2 spots further forward. The car feels really fast, and there's something about the flat tracks that I get along with, apparently, this in Pocono. So I'm feeling really good.
That makes a lot of sense to me. We've seen you doing real well so far here tonight, but currently you got a lot of fast guys in front of you. Paul Ems has been right on your bumper so far for a lot of this race, and then let alone Mundell and Belk battling for the first the entire time.
Yeah, I'd like to be up there. It's hard because like the 2 times that I fought with Black to get by him to get into second, it opened up a bit of a gap to Jeff, and I wasn't able to close that back up before we started fighting again. But no, it's been real fun.
It definitely has seemed like it. What's going to be your game plan going forward?
Momentum. It's really all about saving. Like, how can you save as much momentum through the corners and save the tires at the same time? It's been a lot. This has actually been a lot of fun. So
good. It definitely has seemed like it out on track. A lot of great racing happening. So, Brian, thank you much for your time. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
I'd like to thank the guys at EG, Victos, my wife, my family, my grandparents, everybody who supports me. It means a lot.
All right. Thank you much for your time, Brian. I do appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you.
number 81, Brian Fradian in the Victos Toyota Camry. He'll be starting 4th position. The scoreboard does lie. He is going to be starting in 4th. Kyle Mundell, though, will be beginning in the lead here on the bottom at Indianapolis. Can he get the stage win and finally the race win? That is the thing in question here tonight. Some tire weaving there we're seeing from Rob Carl. I think he really wants to get somewhere good. I think the tire heat might be the way to go. Stock car racing is definitely a bit different than IndyCar, Formula One, and other open wheel racing series. So, still, it's a valid strategy depending on what your game plan is. Tire heat does build up quickly though in these stock cars. Regardless, now as we roll through turn number 4. Once again, it's going to be Kyle Mundell leading us to the green flag with Waterloo Brewing on his Chevrolet. The iRacing.com pace car pulls off to the pit road as we head down into the starting zone. It's a bit longer than I want it to be. Green flag! There we go. Hard acceleration from everybody there off of that one. Oh, push for Kyle Mundell from... That is going to be the 28 of Paul Ems. Now we look to the outside. It is going to be Jeffrey Belk trying his best to get around. Can he get there? This is going to be the battle for the lead you don't want to miss here at Indianapolis. Now Jeffrey Belk soars along on the outside. Apparently he has a lot of speed out there. Clears Mundell. It's Belk out to the lead once again. Side by side for 3rd, it's Ems and Fradian. Now as we head through 3, very, very even between those two cars. What a great race here for not just the podium positions, but for the lead. Everywhere has a great race going on for the position. Ems able to slide it up, and he's able to block Fradian for it. That is going to be a continued 3rd place for Paul Ems. Will he be able to hold on to it, though? That is the question now. Fradian looks down to the bottom. And this leads to the question there that the 22 of Greg Snowgrove has to ask, does he help his teammate or help Fradian trying to move forward? Either one is a good option in his book, more than likely. And it looks like right now, based on the options he has, he's going to have to help Fradian there if he wants to continue with that draft, especially as he's got Rob Carl in that too, breathing down his neck, let alone everybody else coming up behind. About to make it interesting. Into 4 we go. Continued battle now for 2nd place comes up with Paul Ems looking to the inside there of the 34. What can happen? Now Ems has to ask, is he going to help Mundell or is he going to try to soar around him? Either one, a good strategy for Ems there, especially because the competition caution is very soon. It's going to be at the completion of lap 30 when that yellow will fly. So keep your eye out for that one. Looks like Ems able to create a bit of a gap, though, between himself and 3rd now as we head down the backstretch. You can see the 14 there of Matt Stewart looking down to the inside, hoping to make somewhere, but does not get him. He's going to have to pull back. Greg Snowgrove currently residing to 5th position. He's got a bit of a gap in front and behind. He has to decide right now whether he wants to fall back to that gap behind and try to continue rolling forward. But like I said, it is extremely close to the end. Oh, skim of the wall there. Not just a skim, but a hit there for the number 39, Brandon Fiedler, the Gwen Stacy Spider Woman. Yeah. Number 39, Schroeder Plumbing Camry. That's another hit. More right side damage there for Brandon Fiedler. Not going to be helping him in any capacity now as he continues to fall back through the field after that one. This is a flat track, as Brian said earlier. It's a tricky one. Bit of a slide there for Stephen Black. It's going to be a close one now, as these guys are really beginning to battle it out. Weaving across the track, Jeffrey Belka is trying to make sure that Kyle Mundell does not get that draft. It is going to be a very close one now, as we're going to be able to complete lap number 29. We see Greg Snowgrove closing into Paul Ems in 4th. Fradian was able to take away 3rd when we were looking. You can see everybody pulling down after that one. Jeff really does not want Mundell to have it. We see Ems going to be sticking out there to the high side because he knows he's got his teammate behind him who will stick with him to help as we roll through turn number 1. Now, this will be the lap where the competition yellow flies. Who will get the stage win? Currently, Jeffrey Belk has the lead over Kyle Mundell. Will that remain to be the same, though? You can see him pull down once again to the track, trying to prevent it as much as possible. That changes up your field a whole hell of a lot. As we head into turn number 3 now, Brian Fradienne was able to close into Ems. Does he not? Nope. Close into Mundell. Does Fradienne choose to dive to the inside and take it? Right there on his bumper. He looks to the inside. He doesn't have the run yet. Jeffrey Bell can have the run off of 4. Kyle Mundell, this is the battle for second now. Very close to the wall there for Fradienne. Has to block now to get third. Who is it going to be? It's a drag race for third now. And it's going to be Paul Ems taking away third position for Brian Fradienne for the stage. What a race there. There it is. Yellow flies. Wow, what a race that was for the stage. Absolutely impressive. A good show indeed. We'll see, yep, there it is. Paul Ems maybe residing in third for that one. What a great finish for that one. Jeffrey Belk and Kyle Mundell, bravo to those two. Now as we're at the halfway point of this race, we're battling it out. See who would get the stage win, and it goes to the number 55 Forklift Media Toyota Camry. Still good stage points there for Kyle Mundell, especially after missing the last few races. This is a good position for him to be in and to recover some points, as I do believe he is on the bubble this week. We're going to let these guys cycle through their pit stops before we go ahead and bring them up, as we've seen the issues before, and now especially with the big playoffs. Try to be a bit nicer. Still a great showing out of all of them, and it's a great time to once again thank our race sponsor, Wild Cardz, semi-professional paintball team, for bringing us our great racing here tonight, and also to Schroeder Plumbing and Pierce Graphics, who give us the fantastic racing series and overlays. So, once again, thank you to Schroeder Plumbing, been in business for 50 years in Southeast Wisconsin, and to Pierce Graphics, who provides all of the great visuals that you get throughout this race. Well, let's go ahead and take a look and see who is going to be rolling down pit lane this time. That does become the question. It's who wants to take what position? Sometimes it's a bit better to stay out, but also really depends on your strategy. But based on the last time we had a yellow, I think it will be everybody that heads on in. It's definitely beginning to look like it is the pace car. It's essentially just left alone, and it is. Everybody rolling down pit load. Everybody can sticks to that commitment line. Richard Drake out of this race, unfortunately, after that last wreck he was involved in. That will not be helping his playoff hopes for the championship at all. So we look to see who can get their pit stops done. Jeffrey Belk once again has the first stall there. Brian Fradienne takes the second one, all based on their qualifying order. Michael Jennings once again rolls through the pits. Very interesting for that. Wes Gallo also able to leave the pits a lot earlier than everybody else. I think he might have just taken gas. Either that or he missed his pit stall. And it's going to be Jeffrey Belk heading out of the pits next. So that is going to be putting him probably the most competitive car here on this next start. But he's going to have Paul Ems right alongside him, along his teammate Snellgrove, Carl, Coluccio. A lot of guys going to be up here. Kyle Mundell, though, interestingly had to stop in for a bit longer. He might have had some damage, or maybe just not the pit stop that he wanted. But I do believe after that, the race we got to see, he might have a bit of rear-end damage. Well, with that, though, let's go and bring up, who do we grab? Let's grab Paul Ems. He's going to hate me for that, but it'll be fine. He's had a great view of the battles going on. Love to hear his opinion. Paul, some of the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Well, this time we won't be talking too much about your racing. No worries, because after our discussion last time.
Yeah, the Noah jinx still standing. So thanks.
Well, with that though, I do have to ask, what about the battles you've been able to see this race? I mean, that's been one heck of a show, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I find myself battling these EG guys a lot. Managed to get by Brian there. It was a little tight, but I think it should be a good finish.
Absolutely. What's going to be your game plan rolling forward, though? I mean, especially with all the battles going on.
Well, it looks like the front row here didn't take tires. It's going to be an interesting restart. I don't know quite how it's going to play out, or at least Wes didn't. So I'm just going to try to get through this, and then hopefully the tire strategy plays off in the end here.
All right, makes a lot of sense to me, and we'll chop it there so we don't inflict too much more damage. So
appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you very much for your time, Paul. I do appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 28 of Paul M is going to be starting in third actually, on this next start. He's got that inside lane. He's got his teammate Greg Snellgrove behind him there in the 22 Wildcard Chevrolet. Should be able to help him out a bit. If you've been a bit unaware, you've not joined us in these last couple of races, I may or may not have cursed Paul just a little bit. Every time I've brought him up and talked about how his race has been going, it has not resulted well afterwards. So we'll keep it to a minimum, as we did. We'll try to do for all of our playoff drivers so they do not get jinxed. Looks like Kyle Modell going to be starting way further down the line than I believe he would like. He might be banking on another yellow happening, though, after he did speed on pit road. Wes Gallo going to be leading us to the start. Chose the outside lane. I believe he knows because he does not have fresh tires in the 07 Week Enterprises Toyota Camry for Fisher Sport Racing. The Iverson.com race pace car pulls down to go down pit lane as we head through the front stretch to end our competition caution on the start of lap number 35. It's green flag. Good start there for Wes Gallo despite being on older tires. I mean, you definitely fool me with that start. Let's see how it continues to go, though. It looks like the 55 is going to be able to pull down. He does. It's going to be a lot of drivers there as they're about to be 3 wide almost. Not quite. Yeah, I say that, though. We're very close to it behind. Ooh, bit of a slide there for Paul Ems on cold tires as Jeffrey Belk tries to run away as much as possible. Wes Gallo able to lock himself now into second position. How long is he going to be able to hold on to it? Ahead of Fradian. Gallo has had a very interesting race so far. Pulls out to the outside. Does not want to battle these guys after this one. Rob Carl also right there. You can see that number 2 green car. We have not seen him run in that paint scheme yet. Great to see. He unfortunately was running the wrong number last week at the throwback race. Finally very close in line there. Perfect example of stock car racing being bumper to bumper action. Into the inside there for that too. He wants to get around the 07 if possible. He's going to try it, that's for sure. Eric Snellgrove looking like he may have found a little bit more pace in that car than he originally had. Brady Floyd looks to the outside of the 22, getting a bit of help from Stephen Black behind. Drivers all over the place there for turn number 3. A very interesting approach for a lot of them as your top 2 begin to really start to break away. They are completely clocked out now. Third place over a second behind the leader. Very close to the wall there for Paul Ems and the 28 Valvoline. You can see them all now racing through the front stretch. Wes Gallo, who started on pole for this second stage, now beginning to fall back. No more mandatory cautions after this, so any yellow we get after this will be a yellow for wrecking. So we'll see how that continues to play out as we see Brady Floyd getting a lot of help there from the 98 and the 88 behind as they're going to be... Uh-oh. Halhan looks to the inside there. Pushes Brady Floyd now up into 6th position. He has won the last 2 races. Let's see if he can make it 3. He's certainly probably going to try. but he does have a long way to go, as he's currently 2.5 seconds back from the lead. Rob Karl is able to get himself up into third position, currently getting chased down right now by Ems and Snellgrove. He's got to hold on to that if he wants to keep it. He's had a very interesting season with tons of ups and downs, 2 wins and a lot of wrecks and some DNFs, so it has been very much so all over the place for Karl there. He's got to hang on to it if he wants to get some more good points. Well, to provide a little bit of context to see what it's like as we, before we do that though, a little bit of chaos going on here as these guys are all going to be racing hard for these positions in the back. I mean, what a field. Seeing there, nice, good amount. Whoa, Matt Malavani having to pull out. Stays on the bottom. It's going to be 3 wide action there for just a second. Mandel currently caught up in the traffic jam. You can see there, that 34 at Waterloo Brewing Chevrolet wants to get around everybody, but it's a hard track to pass it. He's got to get around LaPierre next. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. Can he get up to the front next? That will be the biggest question. Now, the next time these guys are going to have to pit, I imagine will be around lap number 50. That will be when they're all going in, so keep an eye out for that. It'll be a very short dash to the finish. I imagine some fuel calculations are being done right now by your top teams to see how much fuel they need to put into their car so they don't just take a full fuel and have a short pit stop, and if tires would be faster or not. Well, your top 2 right now, Jeffrey Belk and Brian Fradian, teammates sticking together now as they continue to duke it out for the lead, although Belk has had a good grasp on it for the last while. Paul Ems, though, able to get around Rob Karl once again, has gotten himself up into third. How long can he hold on to it, though, as Rob Karl is going to be aggressive, looking for another podium. However, Greg Snellgrove also looking for one as well there in that 22 Wildcard Chevrolet, hunting them down. Stephen Black currently running in 6th position, able to get around the 20 of Brady Floyd. Stephen was able to have a very good start to this race, but got caught up in some weird accidents and got sent to the rear. So he's got to have a big recovery drive ahead of him. However, we have seen Stephen do recovery drives in the past. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it again. Rob Karl fading just a little bit there as we start to see Greg Snellgrove and him duke it out right now for 4th position. Can they get it is the question. The 22 has the inside side-by-side into turn number 1. It's going to be Snellgrove. Well, your 2 biggest teams, that is Equipment Geek Racing and Great White North Motorsports, I believe their name is now, currently bring up 1-2 for EG and 3 and 4 for Great White. Great at racing action we have seen so far tonight. It's great to see this massive field being able to come out and put on a great show for us all. See Brandon Fiedler starting to make a little bit of a recovery drive headed forward. He's now up to 8th position. He's just got to make sure he keeps it off of that right-hand wall. Oh, big wrecking down the backstretch. That's Mark LaPierre in the 8. Caution still has not flown. He stopped on the racetrack. There it is, the yellow flies. We're going to have to take a look at that one. We got to see just the end of that. We'll come right back and see what happened to Mark there. What a unfortunate position for him to be in. All right, we got your incident here. Let's go and bring it up so we can see just what happened here at Indianapolis once again under yellow. This is definitely going to be changing up. I think these guys are going to be able to just make it to the end on fuel. Uh-oh, slide, huge slide up there for Mark LaPierre. Just did not see the 07 on his outside and just came up straight into him and then into the wall. Big damage there for Wes Gallo as well in the 07. He's going to have to pit for that damage. Very weird wrecks we've been seeing here at Indianapolis. Very strange to be in that kind of position. Big frame drop there for some reason, too. Well, with that, we're going to jump back up to real time and see where these guys are at. As we see Marc Lapierre there currently running at 18th position, trying to claw his way back here under yellow. Heading up towards the front, though, we've seen Greg Snellgrove start to make a little bit of a recovery. Heading forward, he's had a very interesting season, I'll put it as, so be good to see and see what his thoughts are. Greg is open the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, but you must be doing even better. You've had a very interesting race so far, and now you've gotten yourself locked into the top 5.
I am actually mind blown because I am no good at this track.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not one of my strongest tracks.
Huh. Well, currently you've been doing real well so far. You gotta hang on to it for a while longer, though. What's gonna be your game plan rolling forward?
Just try to stay in line, man. It's stay in the draft. You pass. If you don't make it, you're kind of done. So I'm just gonna basically wait for the last lap and hope I get a run at the right time and slingshot the finish line.
What would be your advice to some rookie drivers at flat tracks like these?
Make sure you take it easy, drive in early, and then come off hard. You always got to brake early here so you don't burn up the front tires.
I think that is a fantastic piece of advice that some of our viewers should definitely adhere to. So, thank you much for your time, Greg. I do appreciate it. Who do you thank for such a great race car here tonight?
Everybody that watches, the team, and you know for sure because you do a lot for us.
All right. Well, good luck, Greg, and hopefully we get to speak to you at the end.
Yeah, me too. Have a good one, buddy.
Number 22 of Greg Snellgrove, currently after that pit stall. It's going to be a while back. However, still was up into the top 5, so he's got quite a ways to go, but you've seen that he definitely has the drive to do it. Michael Jennings taking the lead once again after that yellow. I don't believe he went in. Brian Fredian will be the lead car that went in for fuel and likely tires, ahead of his teammate Jeffrey Belk. Paul Ems remains in 4th position. He's got ways to go, but I think Paul might just have something for your leaders, especially now on this next restart. They're going to be nice and close. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is the restarts are an opportunity to be close to your biggest rivals and try to gain up to them, especially when everybody's on fresher tires, roughly the same amount of fuel. That messes with your fuel calculations, though. I mean, after we finish up this yellow, it's going to be very close to the end of this race. It won't be too much longer left, and you're going to have to make sure you have just the right amount to make it to the end. Stephen Black back up into 6th position after that pit stop. Brady Floyd in 7th. These two have been able to maintain their position very well. They have to battle out big to see where they can get. As Michael Jennings appears to not have any plans to roll down pit lane. He is going to be leading on this next start. Especially now that the lights on the pace car are off. He missed his opportunity. It's the 86. So currently we have no cars lapped down. That is fantastic to see. Wes Gallo close there. Did not get it though. Indianapolis, historic, very interesting racetrack. IndyCar racing for, man, over 100 years. Just think about that. Over 100 years they've been racing here. I believe 1908 was the first time they raced here. Sounds right. So over 110. Wow. Still, it's impressive to see that this racetrack has been able to be stitched together enough times over the years to be continued to race now, even virtually here on the iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations platform. It's fantastic. Well, as we roll through turn number 3 now, the 86 on some older tires is going to be taking the lead. That is going to pose a bit of a problem there for the number 55 of Jeffrey Belk. He's going to have to get around him to catch back up to his teammate and to Paul Ems, who's going to have a good starting position on the outside. This is the restart to watch. keep a good eye out for your top drivers here, as this will be one heck of a start now as we head through the historic front stretch here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Iverson.com pace car has pulled down into pit lane. We head through the front stretch. It's going to be a green flag. There we go. Had the timing right. Instant pull down to the bottom there for Jeffrey Belk. 3 wide. They're going to be starting now. We can see those older tires are not helping there for the 86. He gets absolutely sidewinded there by everyone. Caught up in a lot of cars there. As now Brian Fradienne holds onto the lead. It's a battle for second between the 55 and the 28 off of turn number 2. Paul Ems holds on to it for now. Stephen Black right behind Ems, though. That forces Jeffrey Belk down into 4th position as it's Paul Ems in 2nd. Michael Jennings looks down to the inside of Belk as well. Looks like he might have a bit more grip in those tires than I thought he did. Maybe not, as he begins to slide up again. But that's Kyle Mundell, though, recovering his car as much as possible. Now up into 6th position as he continues to battle for as many places as possible. As we see now, that's going to be Jeffrey Belk, the 55, looking to the inside of Stephen Black. It is a not long run to the finish. Paul Ems putting the bumper to Brian Fradienne as much as possible as we see Jeffrey Belk overtaking Stephen Black just barely, but they're going to be continuing to battle now through turn number 2. Off of 2 they go now through that backstretch. Belk does not have the run that he needed to get there, and it looks like it is going to be Greg Snellgrove's choice to help out Stephen Black instead. But it looks like Mundell and Floyd had to choose. He chose the middle line. Off of 3 now into this next chute. Belk got the position for 3rd. All right, he drives off of 4 hard. Can he recover up to Paul Ems and to Brian Fradienne and try to duke him out for the lead as Kyle Mundell battles? Oh, that's a big slide for Brady Floyd. He's going to be... Is he done? I can't catch up to him. Oh, it sounds like it. Yep, yellow is out. Whoa! Wrecking into pit lane. That is going to be a tow for sure. Actually, maybe not. Yep, that's going to be a tow. He managed to flip over the wall, yet somehow did not end up... Wow, okay. That is a very interesting wreck to be involved in. We're going to have to see just what happened and the insane flip that came with that, as that was quite the event. Very violent. So... heading back just a little bit in time here. We'll go and rejoin now and see just what happened here at Indianapolis with Brady Floyd again. Join in here, we can see that 20 Ford Mustang, the only Ford in the field. He rides that more center lane. It looks like Greg Snellgrove net codes into him. Brady tries his best to recover it, but just can't. I mean, these guys are going 190 miles an hour. Got to think about that, 190, almost 200. And that is a lot of speed to have, especially at a narrow track like this. Indianapolis is not wide. Oh, grips into the wall hard, starts flying up into the air. Halhan able to go under and avoid it there. 14, Matt Stewart. Wow, that's a close one. I'm sure he felt the fear on that one. Matt Malavagna as well, just barely avoiding that one. Colucci, wow. These guys have been able to just barely avoid it. However, it looks like Jennings does get, hit and does sparks. And that just sends Floyd flying even more. LaPierre not helping that any, and Floyd just begins to bounce even more. We are very in slow motion right now, and you can see just the insane flipping speed that he must be at. Goes over the pit wall and takes out some crew members there. For Matt Stewart, might be a bit of a lawsuit on his hands later. Maybe not on Brady's hands, but on somebody else's, that's for sure, after a wreck like that. I have to watch that in full speed, because that was a ridiculous incident. Just a little bit of netcode. Grab, flip, wow. Incredibly violent. We're gonna have to watch that from the inside view as well. If you're prone to motion sickness, watch out now, because this is the time where it comes. Go a little bit slower so nobody gets too sick. Keep in mind this is half speed right now. Grips into the wall, flips. Alright, we're going to go down to quarter, because even that's much for me. Just absolutely insane. Netcode caused that. Flies all the way over into the pit lane there. Just wow. Well, as we go back up to real time, we can see he's able to take a tow in a fast repair. Currently a lap down. He's got to get that back. Brian Fredian, though, going to be sitting on the front row. He's going to have Paul Ems right behind Jeffrey Belk, not far behind him. It's going to be a very short shootout to see who can win this race. Kyle Mundell sitting in 5th position. This Jeffrey Belk sits in 3rd. Those two had a very big battle going on. Stephen Black being the only separating force. But based on their positions, that means that Mundell is going to be right behind Belk. Brian Fredian, though, in the number 81 Victos Toyota Camry for Equipment Geek Racing, going to be leading from this yellow. I'm sure he is stoked to be up in the front yet again. He's going to have Paul Ems alongside, though, who is hungry for his first win this season. He got a win last season. He knows he can do it again. He's got the pace. This is clearly a track for Paul. Will it be the one, though, is the question. With some driver information for Brian Fredian there, you can see in the Midwest region, that is Wisconsin, with a 1.7K I rating, apparently. I think very track dependent, though. It's been the biggest criticism of the I rating system is the track dependency that it does create. You have to run absolutely everywhere for it to be even somewhat accurate. But still, after starting in 2nd, he's made a good run to the front after being in a lot of positions. He's going to have one show to the end, as it's going to be an 8-lap shootout to the finish. 9, my apologies. Can Jeffrey Belk take away the win, though, or will it be the upset of Mundell, who has not won here in the CASCAR Schroeder Coleman Cup Series? Many great drivers going to be vying for a win at Indianapolis, and it is a historic one at that. First time we are here at Indianapolis for the CASCAR Schroeder Coleman Cup Series, but also just the historic nature of this track makes it a very important one to want to win. Who knows? Maybe on the last lap we'll have something absolutely insane happen and Matt Malavagna wins. Who knows? That's just the great nature of Indianapolis. We can think back to the Indy 500, I think it was just a few years ago, where Sato was able to win out of absolutely nowhere due to some big accidents, I think. Need to be more well-versed in the IndyCar. Well, as we head down the front stretch, we see the Iverson.com Ford Mustang pull off to head down pit lane. As they roll through now, about to cross the yard of bricks, it will be a green flag. Great start for both your leaders there. Even 3rd and 4th, they're very even now as we head into turn number 1. You can see that 3rd row, Mundell on the bottom, trying to get somewhere. Side by side, your leaders are. Paul Ems out to the lead. Can he hold on to it, though, in that center lane? We've seen that center lane on the starts be very fast. Belk blocks for 3rd. See Stephen Black going down to the bottom. He wants that inside lane as your top 4. Continue to battle it out. Now Black has that inside as we roll through 3. Brian Fredian begins to pull away. Stephen Black's got the bottom. I think he's got 3rd. It's a battle for 2nd now as Paul Ems has to block both Belk and Black for the position. However, Stephen Black begins to fall back. Bit after that one, it's going to be 3 wide now. Almost 4 as these guys continue to battle as Brandon Fiedler makes his big recovery up now into 4th position. Kyle Mundell there in 5th, looking to the inside. How long will it be until he gets to the front? Only a few laps to go. Very great race we've seen here. Got to thank the semi-professional paintball team of Wild Cardz out in Canada for providing us a great race here tonight, and of course to Schroeder Plumbing, who has kept the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series going this entire time and throughout its playoffs. A huge thank you to them for sure. Now, as we see Brandon Fiedler looking to the inside of Jeffrey Belk, hoping to get up into third. He's got the pace very close to them. They go into the wall once again for the 39. Just a skim, though, this time. No damage, it does appear to be. We see Mundell there on the bottom looking for fourth. Paul Ems has closed up to the leader of Brian Fradian. Brian has already won this season. Paul has not. Belk looking to the outside of Paul. He's got it. He's alongside Jeffrey Belk now, taking second away. All right, that's going to be Kyle Mundell in fourth, forcing Brandon Fiedler now into fifth. Fradian continues to lead. Belk, though, going to be trying to close in as fast as possible. Out of turn number 4 now. It is going to be 6 to go across the line this time. Looking to the inside there for Belk. He's going to try to take it away from his teammate. Can he do it is the question. Paul Ems in third. How long will he be able to hold on to it? He's got Paul Ems has got Kyle Mundell right there on him, trying to get around. Ems holds on to it for now, though. He's got that third. Brian Fradian and Jeffrey Belk side by side now as they head through the back stretch. Side drafting as much as possible. That 55 is Stephen Black hoping to suck himself in. Fradian continues to lead. They all start to file out just a little bit more now as we roll through 4. Be too long until we see these guys trying something else again. That is the name of the game, is trying to cause as many upsets as possible. Ems to the inside of Belk there. You can see him dive down, and that Valvoline Chevrolet, oh, side by side they skim. It's 5 to go. Belk into the wall. Oh, he clips just a hair there of Kyle Mundell. Damaged for the 55, pushes him down into 4th position. He's had a great car all night. Can he get back up before Kyle Mundell chases down for 2nd and then potentially 1st? It's only a few laps. It will be close. So many drivers here, all with a potential chance to win in great cars. Jeffrey Belk looking very aggressive. Into the wall again he goes as he pulls down, and that is going to be Jeffrey Belk out of this. Oh, in the yellow flies. Jeffrey Belk absolutely demolished. After that one, I believe he does have a faster pair left, but unfortunate for the number 55. It will be a very short run to the end after that one, so we'll come back and see just that incident from another point of view. Unfortunate for the 55 of Jeffrey Belk. Just wow. Okay, we have a good spot here. We jump over. You can see falling with Jeff there. He takes a very aggressive line there on the bottom. Skims his tires on the line. On the curb, actually, sorry. He slides up hard up just because he does not have control after that one. Already missing some downforce as well from the splitter. Hits into the wall. Stephen Black already out there too. Stephen had nowhere to go. Not even, to Jeff's fault. Stephen just had nowhere to go after that one. Looks like Steve is able to make a decent recovery, though, as Jeffrey Belk slams into the wall and has to recover as much as possible. And it's a battle for positions for the rest of these guys. Trying to get as many as possible before the yellow flies. And that brings us to the end. And it's going to be a very close run. Wow. No! Sparks, you're out too? Yep, I see that. Oh, goodness. Packet loss. I was told it was going to be a problem out of nowhere for some guys, and unfortunately he got caught up in it. Brady Floyd able to get his lap back there. Jeffrey Belk able to take his faster pair there. You can see him now rolling off pit lane. He's got a long way to go from the rear in just 3 short laps. Huge pressure is on the 81, 28, 34, and now the 88 as well. Your top 5 all have pressure to win this race. They all have the potential. Who can do it will be the question, though, of the night. Jeffrey Belk, after dominating most of this race, will be at the rear, having to make it one absolute hell of a recovery. But we just don't know if he's going to be able to do it. But Brian Fradien, though, currently has the best bet. With Paul Ems going to be alongside, though, with a fantastic race car he's had so far tonight. Same with Kyle Mundell, though, in the number 34 Waterloo Brewing Chevrolet. He has been on the move. He's had pace. He might just be able to pull it off, but maybe it's going to be Tyler Hallahan who will be able to secure his win for the first time in quite a while here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. He was not able to get it last season. Went winless. So far, he's gone winless this season. He might just be able to pull it off here tonight at Indianapolis. And what a track to pull it off at. But Stephen Black as well in 5th. However, he does have damage. I would bring people up. However, it's very close to the end and a lot of pressure on these guys. So I don't want to jinx anybody by bringing them up here, as we've seen issues with that in the past. All right, Brady Floyd also in the lead lap. Jeffrey Belk starting from the rear as well. Oh, it's going to be close. Here at the Brickyard. Thank you once again to Wild Cardz Paintball for giving us a great race here tonight at the Brickyard. And, of course, to Schroeder Plumbing, putting on our entire series, and to Pierce Graphics, who gives us our fantastic overlay package every single week we get to see. Well, folks, if you're here, I guess now is the time to throw your bet. Who is going to win this race? Got a lot of candidates on the line. It is going to be a very close race, so throw it in now. So we go through the second shoot now. Off of turn number 3. A bit of warming up for the tires there for the 22. Greg Snellgrove wants to make sure he's got the car to do it. All right, off of turn number 4. The pressure is on. We head out to our blimp camera here as the Iverson.com pace car pulls off now as we head towards the Yard of Bricks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for hopefully the last time. It's the first green, white, checkered. It will be a green flag. Paul Ems off to a good start so far on that outside lane. Diving now into turn number 1. You see these guys go. Oh, it's close. Hallahan does not have a lot of pace, it seems now, as your top 3 begin to break away. As soon as I say that, though, he's able to hold off Rob Carl now as he locks himself in 4th. Whoa, it's 3 wide! Paul Ems gets absolutely shafted on that one. 4 wide there for a second as they collided the wall. Brandon Fiedler collected. Oh, rear-ended by Cody Snyder as the caution comes out again. That forces Paul Ems all the way down to the last running car. That was unexpected. I have little other words than that as with how intense that went. So let's go and take a closer look and see just what happened. because just wow. We're going to have to use our official Forklift Media drone camera to see what happened there, as it's in just the weirdest spot. Alright, we go in here. We're going through turn number 2 now as we follow along on the drone camera. Ooh, looks like Mundell looking to the bottom. I think it might have freaked Freddie Ann out just a hair. Lightly body slams the 28. Paul gets caught. Oh, into the wall. But this isn't the really bad part yet, though. So he was able to get off of that. Unfortunate, he lost a lot of pace. He's going to fall through the field. Brandon Fiedler, not really sure what to do. Goes up to the outside, skims the wall. Oh, and that codes into the right rear. Sends both of these guys careening there to the outside. Slide across, and oh, I thought it was Snyder that rear-ended the 39. Nope, that was Michael Jennings, and then Paul Ems gets finished off there by the 14 of Matt Stewart. Matt Mulliwani able to thread the needle through there. Very close. LaPierre pulls it straight down to the end, trying to avoid all that nonsense, and I think he does hit the wall from that. We'll go back in a little bit and see. Actually, no, he gets collided by Jeffrey Belk in that one, actually. That's unexpected. You can see them all trying to avoid this. Floyd just collects him. Oh, man, that is a lot of cars involved and a very weird end to this race, as there still is not a lot of time left, but, all right. I am at a loss for words on how this is all going to play out, because it is just very interesting. Once again, I'm not dragging anybody up for this, because this is a very tense moment for a lot of drivers in the playoffs and just on the track in general, even your non-playoff drivers. As I said before, just about anybody is in a position to potentially win this race. I believe that is now up to Fiedler, where your drivers are taken out. So Drake, Sparks, Stewart, LaPierre, and Fiedler all stuck in the pits. Wow. Well, now it becomes the race to who can win between Brian Fradian and Kyle Mundell. I say that, though, but Tyler Hallahan is right there in third, and Stephen Black in fourth, Snellgrove in fifth. What a race for these guys. Patrick Coluccio looking for another top 5, currently sitting in 7th. That is a very realistic position. That is top 5 for Patrick Coluccio. Just with the chaos that we have seen in these last few laps and what we're going to be seeing here at the end. Thank you once again to everybody that has tuned in to our race session. I greatly appreciate it, as does everybody out on track. Gives them the sponsor time that they all desire, and of course it just puts on a show which they all want to do. However, even with these interesting predicaments we find ourselves in, I do imagine that these guys must be having a lot of fun. That is a great amount of racing we have seen. Well, with the lights on the pace car off, we head now through turn number 2. Stephen Black on the outside in row number 2 is in a very good position to finish once again in a podium position or potentially win. Jeffrey Belk, who has dominated this race, currently resides in 10th. Pretty far back in the 5th row outside lane. Paul M is able to make a recovery out there. Looks like Brandon Fiedler able to as well. Heavy damage from Michael Jennings to see there. That's the modified we have out on track. Apologies, need to take a drink there. These guys have not given me a break. All right. As we head through the second chute now, Brian Fredian once again leads us to the start. This is green-white checker number 2. They only have one left after this one. Alrighty. We head now through the historic front stretch, hopefully for the last time under yellow here with the Shorter Plumbing Cup Series with the wild cards at 150. As the pace car is rolling down the lane, it is going to be green flag. I'm a bit early on that one again. There we go. So Callahan tried to jump the start just a hair, but did get stopped from doing so, so he is lucky on that one. Either that or his reaction time is very good for that. Ooh, those older tires are not helping him out as we see Stephen Black now up into third. Mundell out on the outside of Fradian. Like I said, these are the two to watch. Side by side as they enter turn number 3. Fradian holds the bottom. Hallahan battling for third. He's got it over Black. He's really got it. All right, this is when everything is on the line. Brady, oh, they're wrecking down once again. I think the yellow might fly. However, oh, just before the line, the caution flies. It's going to be green-white checker number 3. Oh, man. Oh, man. Could it be Brady Floyd looking for 3 in a row? We are in a very interesting position. All right, we're going to see just what happened to our next modified there of Stephen Black, and we'll be right back. All right, we have your incident here. Let's go and drag her up and see just what happened. As we follow along with the 98 of Stephen Black. That's that black and orange car off of turn number 4. Wes Gallo appears to have come up. Oh, just clips the two of them as they both slide down. Just barely avoiding Greg Snellgrove there, and that's just a complete around there for Stephen Black. Wes Gallo involved in many, so I think he's pretty disappointed himself with that one too. Into the wall for Black, though, and for Gallo. I believe those two are also going to be out of this race, either that or close to it, because, wow! 2 new modifieds! That's what we got. Goodness grief. A race we have had. Many drivers all involved, all in a very weird position where everything is on the line, but also nothing as well. As we can see our Stephen Black there. Oop, didn't unmute that. Oops, there we go. All right. Kyle Mundell here running in second place once again. This is his last opportunity to get around Brian Fradian. It will be a close one at that. Hallahan also with an opportunity to move forward. Brady Floyd with another potential win in the books possible for that number 20 Ford Mustang. Can Brady make it 3 in a row? Can Brian Fradian score another win? Can Kyle Mundell get his first win here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series? And can Tyler Hallahan finally make his recovery over 2 seasons and make it a reality and put himself in the winner's circle? Your top 4, all with interesting prospects for wins. Hell, you could even say your top 5 or 6. It is going to be a race. Well, as we now roll through turn number 4, it was your last green-white checkered. So if another wreck happens, it'll be under yellow, and the race will finish under it. So these guys, I'm sure, are going to try to keep it as clean as possible until the last lap. And duke it out for the win. Actually, oops, it was one short. We this time my lights on the pace car go out. Well, this has transferred from the Wild Cardz 150 now up into a bit higher than that, so that's fine. Wes Gallo, other modified, coming out on track. Stephen Black, you can see, I believe he did have to tow and he's stuck in the pits. 4 cars. Actually, no, 5 cars, my apologies. 5 cars out of this race. Black, LaPierre, Stewart, Sparks, and Drake. Man. Even still, we've had a very, very good event in our hands. And we're set up to see a fantastic finish. Kyle Mundell has his opportunity. Can he steal it? Or is it going to be Brian Fradian or an upset driver coming in to take it? I don't know about you fans, but I'm on the edge of my seat as we roll down the backstretch. It'll be very shortly until we go. Man, I just wish this caution would be over already. It's going to be a good one. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I think, you know, there was a lot of questions whether or not it'd be a good race to have on the schedule. And I think that this has put all of those doubts into rest now, especially for this car at least, because, for the Gen 6, I mean, because, wow. That's right, next season, CASCAR will be moving to the Gen 7. All right, off of turn 4 we go. Down through the historic front stretch. The Iverson.com pace car pulls off. It's going to be your top 2, the ones to watch. And green flag. Good start there for your top 4. All once again, Halhan, he looks to be a little bit slower on those starts, but he does have a lot more grip in that car than it appears. Cody Snyder making his top 10 appearance known. Scoring up through there. Kyle Mundell out to the lead. He was very aggressive trying to take it away. Can Brian Fradian, though, on the bottom reel it away again? It'll be close. Whoa! They slot into each other very close there. Brady Floyd down to the inside. Jeffrey Belk also back up into the mix, now in 5th, but he's going to be able to dive down and potentially go for the win. Jeffrey Belk causing some major upsets as he's been able to recover after that huge accident he was involved in. Brady Floyd almost into the wall to go out of turn number 4. Down through the front stretch. Oh, into the wall for Belk and Carl. Oh, it's a huge wreck once again. Hallahan involved. Brian Fradian across the line to bring us to lap number 69. Nice. Anyway, sorry. Final lap we are on. It's Brady Floyd in 2nd. Can he chase him down? No yellow has been thrown. Mundell, he might have the opportunity to get it, but I just don't think he does. Brady Floyd, though, might have the grip to do it, but Brian Fradian's quite a ways ahead. Oh, it's going to be close. As we dive down now into turn number 3, we see Mundell beginning to close up. Out of 3, now through the short chute, now 4, I believe. Oh, unless something happens right here at the end, it's going to be Brian Fradian. Yep, Brian Fradian. Oh, side by side. I think it might be to the end. Oh, it's a good one. Brian Fradian going to take away the win. Brady Floyd in 2nd. Kyle Mundell finishes in 3rd on the podium. Greg Snowgrove finishes out in 4th. And Brandon Fiedler comes back to finish in 5th. What an end to a race, and a historic one at that here with the CASCAR Shirley Plumbing Cup Series. Expect some very big burnouts here out of Brian Fradian. Brady Floyd very close to almost getting 3 in a row. Man, Viewers, thank you very much for joining us out here tonight with the CASCAR Shirley Plumbing Cup Series crew to do our Wild Cardz 150 in the CASCAR Shirley Plumbing Cup Series playoffs. A non-playoff driver finishes in 2nd position. Wes Gallo coming up as well to be with the teammates, as is Jeffrey Belk. Brandon Fiedler rolling down pit road. Bit of a bump there from Gallo into Fradian there. Brady Floyd sticking with these guys. Hear the celebrations going on in front of him. Very narrow track, so it's a bit hard to do the burnouts here, but a very happy Brian Fradian finishes in the lead. A great run for him. Congratulations to the 81 team and Victos. The hands big round of applause to all of our drivers out there. Your final finishing order is Fradian, Floyd, Mundell, Snellgrove, Fiedler, Malavagna, Belk, Gallo, Jennings, Snyder, Ems, Coluccio, Carl, Hallahan, Black, LaPierre, Stewart, Sparks, Drake. Okay. So we hear the crowd cheering on now as we're going to bring up your third place finisher, the absolutely fantastic number 34, Kyle Mundell. Kyle, it's over the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, Noah, how are you?
I'm doing well, but a third place podium for you. How are you feeling?
It's not much use to me, to be honest. I need to win if I'm going to make it to the round of 8. So, not good enough. That's about it.
Still, I mean, a great race you had, though. I mean, kept everyone on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, cool. But I don't know. I'm a little bummed about that one. I thought I was definitely one of the faster guys. I don't know.
You had a lot of
Thought I
pace in
should have
that
had a
car.
chance. Yeah, and after the stage, Jennings and I pit with 2 to go in the yellow, and I was good to go full out to the end, and that was my strategy. And then when that got shut down, I pretty much shuffled myself to the back by doing that. I don't know. Hurt.
Yeah, but still the recovery drive you had after stage number 2 is absolutely impressive. I mean, you were able to put yourself all the way back up towards the front into the lead a few times too. I mean, that takes a lot of skill and speed to have. So I think Indianapolis is one of your tracks.
Oh, I love Indy. It's like the whole reason I bought iRacing was to drive Indy cars at Indy. Yeah, that's why I thought I actually had a good chance at this. So even like third's a good result, but it's still, I'm more upset about this one than IRSS.
Really? I mean, because even that was skin of your teeth too.
Yeah, but by missing Atlanta, I need to win to advance to the round of 8. Even though like I had second at the stage, third, I missed out on a 0x, but I don't know. I need to win Dega. That's essentially it.
Well, it's a super speedway, and we're definitely gonna have to see how that goes after your last super speedway result.
Yeah, their super speedways are massively hit or miss, so you just gotta hope you hit.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Congratulations on the third place finish. Who do you have to thank for your race car here tonight?
No, thanks. No, I guess iRacing and Chevy Camaro, Waterloo Brewing, Sharon, Movember, Weak Designs for the livery, yourself for broadcasting, and Shorter Plumbing for hosting the series.
All right. Well, thank you much for your time, Kyle. Once again, I certainly do appreciate it, and hopefully get to see you soon.
Thanks, Noah.
Number 34, Kyle Mundell, finishing in third place here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series Wild Cards 150. Let's go and bring up your second place finisher. Okay, Brady Floyd. Brady, so the booth. Do you read me?
Yes, sir.
You almost made it 3 in a row.
Yeah, probably could have, probably should have, but there were a lot of other forces at play tonight. Having to start from the back really sucked. I don't know why Netcode decided to grab me and send me into the pit boxes, but I mean, we played the same strategy as last week, had an extra set, and they started wrecking there at the end. I definitely had the position that I wanted. I did a lot on that second to last green-white checkered, but it would have felt pretty cruel to take this one away from Brian after he put himself in the right position so many times. I mean, he led a good third of this race and a lot towards the end. So for having 2 wrecks coming off of 4 on the green white checkers, it's just not worth it to take away from him. He's in playoffs, I'm not. So huge shout out to the team. They helped me a lot tonight, keeping my cool and teaching me how to drive the track. But yeah, so I mean, I owe it to him. Congrats to Brian. I wish we could have got some of the other guys that went through the ringer tonight up here towards the front as well. But most of us ended up with pretty good runs, so can't really complain.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me, but still an impressive drive you had. I mean, regardless of just the second, but coming from the rear and just the nonstop performance that you had the entire time, I mean, that's impressive.
Yep, happy about it. I think we have, Talladega next week and then Watkins Glen, so 2 interesting races coming up. I definitely look to show out at Talladega. I will look to hopefully not be on the broadcast because that means I'm not wrecking at Watkins Glen, and then we'll go from there.
All right, well, Brady, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it greatly. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
Well, just having you on the car, 4Cloak Media. You can find them at 4cloak.net, and you're watching here on twitch.tv/4cloak. Also like to thank Asia Esports and Pierce Graphics for being on the car as well.
All right, well, thank you much for your time, Brady. Once again, I do appreciate it, and hopefully get to see you soon.
Yep, have a good one.
Number 20, Brady Floyd, able to secure himself a second-place finish after tonight. Well, that leaves it. This is time for the big one. Time to bring up your race winner. The number 81 Victos Toyota Camry driver. It's going to be Brian Fredian. Brian, it's Nope in the booth. Do you read me?
I do.
Well, welcome back.
I got a glass of milk this time.
Yeah, there we go. A glass of milk, an imaginary kiss of the bricks, and climbing the fence.
Yep, all 3.
Like I said, actually I said during the broadcast, it's going to be a historic finish here for anybody that wins it in CASCAR. Not just for the first time being here, but just because of the effect Indy has. It's like Daytona.
It is. It's one of it's one of the most prestigious racetracks in the world, and it means even in this league, even though it's quote unquote not real, it's definitely real, but it means a lot to win here.
Absolutely.
And sorry, but I really have to really say thank you to Brady. It means the world to EG and to me that he just decided to push, and it I couldn't have done it without him.
He did definitely thank you guys as well in his interview, so I'm glad to see that some mutual thanks going on for each other. A lot of good work has been going on behind the scenes for the Equipment Geek guys, especially you and everybody else there that's been putting a lot of work in just to be very performance hungry out on track.
Yeah, it's great.
For sure. What are you going to do to celebrate other than just drink your glass of milk?
Well, so the camo that I put on the car today it's chocolate chip, and I may find some chocolate chips to dunk in this milk. So that and eat dinner and just relax and celebrate this win.
You've absolutely earned it after a very grueling run here. 69 laps you were able to do here at the Wild Cardz 150, greater than 150. But still a great run nonetheless. Who do you have to thank for such a great race car here tonight?
Thank the EG guys. Thank Brady. Thank Victos. My grandparents, Uncle Cliff, Aunt B, my wife especially, and then my parents, all of my relatives that watch this. It really does mean the world to me.
I think you definitely have some fans out here in the chat, that's for sure.
It's good to hear.
All right. Well, Brian, thank you much for your time. I certainly appreciate it, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Number 81, Brian Fradian wins it here at Indianapolis. Oh, what a finish. Not just for him, but for absolutely everybody. Kyle Mendel bummed out about the third place finish because he had a great fast car. Could have gotten it. Understand the pain. Oh, man. Brady Floyd did not spin Brian Fredian for the win. almost made it 3 in a row, though. And Brian Fradian scores himself another win here this season and has done a fantastic job. Up next, it's going to be Talladega. And it's going to be one heck of a race, that is for sure. Then afterwards, it's going to be the Weeg Designs at the Glen. So keep an eye out for that one. They'll be coming up relatively shortly. So keep your all your notifications and stuff on to get notified when these go live. And, of course, the schedule's on www.cascar.net. Well, got to give a huge thank you once again to Wild Cardz. They are the semi-professional paintball team out in Canada. Got to give a huge thank you to them for sponsoring this race and making it interesting, that's for sure. And, of course, got to thank Schroeder Plumbing. They are a family-run company that's been in business for over 50 years in southeast Wisconsin. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also do work with several local builders, and they will work with those hoping to build their dream home or do their own remodeling. You can give them a call today over at 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401, Schroeder Plumbing. I've been Noah Walter here on twitch.tv/4cloak, and we will all see you all next time here with CASCAR at Talladega next.